music going.
They said Gray paved the way, changed the rain, released the pain. Least you sane, getting paid, trend setting, brighter days, doper rap, tighter sets, high in Delhi, I'm a fighter jet, Jeremy.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's the OG Boricua Dandada, Muffins Martinez, Rob K of Urban Wrestling Network, and MLW Confusion, just in case I get yelled at again. I think that's how I have to do it to play it safe and not, for some reason be called like a fucking turncoat or something. I don't know. Gentlemen, we've seen War Chamber Night 2. I say we do kind of a whatever the fuck we want to do, right? We got more content about MLW than MLW has content. So, opener, I thought was pretty good with the two Spanish dudes. I don't remember their names. I think Myron was one of them and Star Jr. Was it those two? Right? Yeah.
That's correct.
And
correct.
I was like, yo, that's a pretty dope opener, right? Like high speed, get the crowd into it. I'm a big Zeta guy, and I felt that match went way too long, right? Like it was just, I kind of was agreeing with Della Renta how she was taking shots at everybody. It made it a lot of fun. Mama Della Renta is a fucking dime brizzle. I'm just saying that right now. Like, hey, yo, like a whole lot of hey, yos. That's a lot of woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a real good way. What the hell else we had?
Muffins approved.
We need a Muffins approved like anime. We need Muffins approved animation of some sort, so it comes up to be like rainbows. Muffins approved.
Muffins approved.
So
there it is.
That's
wow.
There it is.
Wow.
Muffins approved.
This is what he gets paid the big bucks for.
USDA Prime.
So listen, I'm gonna throw him under the bus real quick. Muffins watched the pay-per-view after the pay-per-view, right? He was watching the Haney and Garcia fight, the whole card, right? Which he could have only watched Garcia Haney, but he decided, hey, I'll watch MLW after. I'm watching it. Mama Della Renta comes on. I'm like, hey, yo, Muffins, Mama Della Renta. He hits me with the ayo, right? Like, so great, obviously, spot. She talks a little crazy. She even talks a little crazy for Della Renta because she was even like, whoa, what's going on right now? Yeah. We had the tag team match where, I mean, Bomaye Fight Club just, I don't know why Alex Kane was so interested at AJ Francis on the mic that long. Either pop off or don't pop off. Gentlemen talk, and the last thing I'm going to talk about this, besides the beatdown, and we'll get to that. But y'all talk about everything before the main event because I actually like the main event. So your take on the whole show in a nutshell, and then we'll go right to the main event.
I thought it was, we'll call it inoffensive overall. Like nothing really like outside of the main event. Like the main event was the star. I mean, as most main events are, but like really, like I felt the card on paper was stronger than the other War Chamber, but like once again in execution, like I felt like it was still a bit middling because for example, like no one expected Kojima to lose the title to Bad Dude Tito, but at least Bad Dude Tito has a winning record going into that fight. Now he's back at 500. But like we got like the weird stuff going on with Salina De La Renta's mom. Like I am really confused by this. Like Salina's been with the company for what, like 5 years now, and I don't think we've ever heard word one about Mama De La Renta. Like she's not even a mythical creature like Mama Cornette. Like we've heard nothing, and then all of a sudden just like, hey, look, it's Salina De La Renta's mom with Cesar Duran. Like, how did commentary know that was Salina De La Renta's mom? Like, has she been just bringing her mom around to shows for years now? Is she Buff Bagwell? Do we need a Mama De La Renta on a forklift match? Okay, I will pay money to see that just for shits and giggles. But like, like that really confused me. Like that threw me for a loop. And then just the fact that like, oh, she's talking to Cesar, we can't hear anything of it. And then all of a sudden it turns out she's crazy too, maybe even crazier than Salina. which was like the placement of that was odd too, because like she was just cavorting with Cesar, and now all of a sudden she's demanding to rip his balls off as like celebration for a match well done or whatnot. So that was really out of left field too. But like the lucha match was good. Like the women's match, I didn't think that was that good at all. Like it definitely went way too long, and so I don't know if they were trying to like show off Miss Castillo. Try to like if they're asking, if they're trying to integrate her with the featherweights. If they aren't, that match definitely went on way too long, because otherwise it probably should have just been a squash match and been done with it. Which it should have been a squash match anyway, because the match just wasn't that great. Like I don't know if they just didn't jive, or if it's just Castillo isn't that great and Zeta's just green enough that she can't lead a match proper. Because she's only like 2 or 3 years into her career, whereas it turns out Castillo is like 7 years in or something of the like. So she's definitely the veteran of the match for that. But yeah, like there's just a batch of things, and like the tag team title match, which I don't know. Do we want to get on the do we want to talk the tirades about the tag team title situation now, or do we want to wait a bit?
We can go into it because it all goes into Contra Union taking out WTF tech, and it's scary because this is why I want to talk to you guys instead of just texting in the chat back and forth. We see that Filthy Tom Lawler's in intensive care and we don't know what's happening to him, and then you're like, well, you still have Richard Holiday, even though he got beat down. They didn't say he got hurt, so you could go, okay, well, WTF is down a man, kind of do the Freebird thing like Muffins would always say, and have Richard Holiday with Davey Boy Smith Jr. So you go, is Davey Boy Smith Jr. still around? Is Richard Holiday still around? Is what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there's a lot of questions coming out of this, because I mean, storyline perspective, that's shots fired, because they took down like 3/5 of WTF. Well, okay, it's not 3/5 because we're not counting Ryan Gosling and Zeta yet either. So my math is off on that, but still, like they took out like most of the heavy hitters of WTF. So, like, from a storyline perspective, that is really interesting. And shots fired, per se. So, I don't like, is this the end of WTF, like, as we know it? Are they scaling back things, like, in terms of storyline? And then, like, what's going on backstage? Like, are we done? Yeah, Tom Lawler done with the company? Is Steve Boy still done with the company? Or are they focus on Tom Lawler? So, yeah, so I think for storyline, that's really interesting, and that they're really putting over Contra as, like, this big threat. But I kind of want to see them. It's great that they're attacking people backstage, but it's still a bunch of nameless ghouls and Mads Kruger, and at least now they still have Ikuro Kwon, but it's still a bunch of nameless ghouls. Like I still want some. I want some names. I want to be able to get attached and feel fear rather than have a bunch of cockroaches scurrying in the dark. Here's my sidebar. Here's something that's actually kind of like upsets me as a professional neckbeard, is like what is going on with the tag team title situation. Like it is like I asked this in our chat and none of us have an answer to it, and I'm too lazy to even like Google it, but like, is Davey Boy Smith Jr. or Tom Lawler injured? Like why are we doing the injury stripping angle off of this? You literally had a tag team title match at that show. Like if you didn't have a contract in place or an agreement in place to continue with either Davey Boy Smith Jr. or Tom Lawler, you either do the Freebird rule out of it or you lose the title. And like, yes, I can see maybe like for whatever reason they don't want to put the title on the Bomayes just because Alex Kane's doing his own thing or whatever. Like, okay, fine, but like they could be a transitional champion. Like let them have some shenanigans. They win the belts, and then next month they lose the belt to a tag team of choice due to AJ Francis interfering somehow or causing distraction. Instead, we have like this weird we have this injury angle and a stripping, and now we're just going to have two quasi-random teams battling it out as Tekka Lucha, whether it's on the main card or it's going to be at the YouTube show. And of those two teams, like, building higher and higher on this here rant, like one of them is Cozy Max, which on paper, like, it's fine, whatever. Cozy Max is Cozy Max, but I hate the concept of dual champions, especially when one of those champions is the world heavyweight champion, because the world champ should have enough on their plate defending the title from basically the entire roster to worry about going after tag team gold. And two, like, I feel that
shit, Rob.
and I feel like that it's we're gonna do we need to switch up hats momentarily. I've talked way too long about it.
Yeah,
you know, especially and then on top of it, it makes it look like, you know, it makes your tag division look weak when like you're basically dragging in people from other, you know, divisions, if you will, to do this. I love Kojima. Like, this is not a knock on Kojima. Like, I've established on this show and on my podcast that I'm a firm, you know, card carry member of the Bread Club. But again, like, there's a bunch of guys gunning for him. He should probably be prepared for them instead of going after a secondary title with his buddy. And then also, to go along with this, where's Wasted Youth? Aren't they the number one contenders to the tag team championship? Where are they in all of this? Like, they're like, I do have a problem because fuck Manders. Like, but I don't really, like, conceptually, I don't have a problem with the Second Gear crew going for the tag team, having a shot at the tag team titles for this, because they haven't had their rematch and they were the last champion. So okay, they can be in this little, you know, decider match. But like, Wasted Youth are the number one contenders. They won a number one contenders tag team match, and where are they in all this stuff? So like, it's just really weird and booking as far as I'm concerned about the tag team division. It's like, it either shows like you don't know what's going on contract wise and you were just hoping for the best, or like you just really like wanted to put Contra over your tag team titles, like one of the two, and I have no clue what it is.
Who's the guy? I know you guys talked about him. Who he annoyed the shit out of me. The guy who's with Second Gear crew came out at left field.
Manders?
No, the guy with the whistle that was standing outside.
Bill Alfonso. Yeah, and
why the fuck is he? What is?
I forgot about that because there's so many other things I'm confused about. Like, I just assumed they brought him back just because he lives in Florida, and like, I mean, I don't have like an actual logical storyline reason why they would be there, especially since they didn't like announce him beforehand. It's just like, hey, like for this War Games match, we have Bill Alfonso with us. He was an ECW. They're Extreme.
Oh, he's an ECW guy. Okay.
Yeah. He used to be Sabu and Rob Van Dam's manager. Before that, he was the only referee in ECW that enforced the rules.
Yep. Bill Alfonso, daddy. Well,
Muffins, get in this, baby. Get in this.
Hey, man. I thought the show was good enough. Good opening match, like you mentioned. We go fast paced. Star Junior versus Virus. Good match. You guys complain. You guys are chronic complainers when it comes to females. Female match. It's not long enough. It's not long enough. Oh, this match should have gone on. They don't want to give female.
Hold on, wait.
No, I want a good female match.
You're gonna say we're complaining about female. We talk nothing about female wrestlers. Did that match not go on too long?
You guys talk. It's my turn.
Did the match not go on?
You guys complain they don't give enough female wrestling, and then what they do is not long enough. Oh, this match wasn't long enough. Now it goes too long. Oh, that match was too long.
Because it was garbage.
Was it a good match?
Make up your minds, folks.
Give me a good match, and it can go on all night.
The match was good enough. It wasn't long enough, like it's supposed to.
How was that good enough? Stop it.
It was good enough. It did its job. It did its job.
Why it buried everyone?
What I didn't like about the match was Salina was is one thing that you are trying to bring your own talent in Janai Kai, you want to bring her over, but when you're insulting the rest of the females, you're not really upgrading the
okay, now he's talking sense.
The featherweight
over there,
knuckling down, and one thing she said, oh, Sophia's been wrestling for 7 years. If she hasn't found it by 7 years, she's never gonna get any better, or she's never gonna find it.
I mean,
that's a knock on the girl. I'm like, wow,
that's kind of fucked up.
That you can say that. All these two girls, they don't know what they're doing. This is not, I'm thinking to myself, you're supposed to be the featherweight person, and you're supposed to be bringing up the featherweight and the rest of the ladies. All you're doing right now is.
But we also
knocking
understand
them
she's
down
the biggest
personally.
heel.
Huh?
She's also on. We know this because they made it established she's
Yes.
part of the featherweight.
It's
but she's
one
a
thing
heel
about being a
persona.
heel. It's one thing about being a heel, and you have to be the heel because you want to make
Well,
your.
But that's also
talent-
called being a good manager.
Yeah,
Is being
which is
is making
managing,
sure
I
your
think,
people
being-
are highlighted. Sorry to interrupt. Like this part of it, I agree with you, Muffins.
She was some savage shit.
But I mean, telling her like you've been wrestling for 7 years. If you haven't found it in 7 years, you never will. I'm like, whoa, like dude, like whoa, hold up. That was a little too hard for me. I was like, whoa, like dude, that's I understand you gotta be a heel and you have to make your Nike look good. Say stuff like, "Oh, these girls ain't good enough to take my champion down," stuff like that. But now when you picking on them, deliberately saying stuff like that, that now you crossing the line and you saying things you should not be saying, because now you're the one who's holding your female talent back. So that's one thing that I wanted to say about that. The tag team fiasco, like you said, the Freebird rule. You have Sid Bishop Jr. there. What's his name again?
Josh Bishop.
Josh Bishop. Bishop is there with them. So is Holiday. Holiday's there. That's two guys.
Well, the thing where we were going with that is 3 of them got beat down, so we don't know how bad they're gonna.
Well, but the ones that got beat down was
Tom
two
Lawler?
guys. Yeah, Lawler and
DBS, Holiday, and
Lawler
Tom.
were the ones who got beat up. Who else got beat up?
Three of them got beat up.
Holiday was there too.
Okay, so and then
he was
you
the
got
first one.
and then you got Bishop left. Okay, so you got Bishop left. So yeah, so
And AJ Francis
and BRG.
and
yeah,
BRG.
yes,
Damn,
BRT.
they got mad people.
So you could use 2 of those guys, like you said, on the Freebird rule, and defend those titles at the next show, and whatever happens, happens. You have this love affair with Japan wrestlers right now is crazy, especially 2 over 50-year-old guys, and we already know who's going to win. It's going to be them going against SCU, who were the former champions.
Now, on that, I'll ask you, because on that same card, isn't Matt Riddle going to go against? Oh no, he has to win the Battle Riot first. He said, right? I'll win Battle Riot. And,
That's
it looks like
one.
he's going to be wrestling Sami Callihan at the next tapings.
Yeah, so that'll probably
all right.
be
So
a
probably a double champ then.
And he lost the title because he lost the title recently for the New Japan TV title. So it was supposed to be for a title, and now it's not going to be for the title now. So that's one thing they have to change about that. So now you have the whole tag team division up in array, and like Rob K said, you have Wasted Youth. What happened to Wasted Youth? They were a mainstay there at the beginning of every pay-per-view, having their tag team matches, trying to prove themselves. They did. They won the #1 contendership, and then they're getting stuck in 6-man scramble matches and all this stuff like that ever since. They were not at the show or the tapings. So what happened to Wasted Youth? So you wasted the time putting into them, and then you don't have them at the main 5th show or May 11th show for the tag team thing. So right now there's so much nonsense going on with MLW that you don't know what to keep up with. Then you have Bad Dude Tito, who was never going to win the title from Kojima. So you just wasted him right there on the match.
Would have been dope though.
At least it was a decent match.
It was a decent match, but 2-1 record, and he's already calling for a championship match. For that, you should have wrestled SPR and get them middleweight title that still hasn't been defended in the last.
RSP. I was like, who the fuck is SPR?
Same thing. I don't know. I'm just throwing out letters. I figure somebody will pick it up.
Shit, that sounds all right.
IRS. Why is it fighting IRS?
Yeah, IRS, RSPT, AT&T.
No, don't get him going talking about IRS. Back on, let's go. RSP.
Yeah, so, you could have had him beat Ricky Shane Page for the title, boom. And get him out of the title and, give him that middleweight title that has to be defended in the last 3-4 months. But it's just so many question marks going into the show. The show was good for me. And the main event was awesome. The main event, I actually enjoyed the main event, which I was surprised.
We need to mark this on the calendar. Y'all like the main event.
Well, actually, I do. I actually like the main event, and I actually
my one knock was why the fuck was Raven in there? That guy is so fucking pathetically feeble that I mean, at one point he stand there, he hits somebody, and then he rolls onto the floor. Like, what?
Yeah.
He got the kendo shots in. He did the drop toe hold. We didn't even get
but they were like, he's a difference maker. He didn't do shit.
Yeah. He looked like Scott Hall when he was wasted towards the end of his career, and they have him go to an indie show, and they have to hold him so he could do a little spin punch, and it takes him like at least 10-15 seconds just to do that. That's what he reminded me of.
The highlight of Raven was his t-shirt. That was the highlight of Raven.
So, and I'm glad the calling is over. That shit is over. That was too damn long. It was doomed from the beginning. It had promise. It had promise. It started good. When they were adding little, people here and there, and then people started disappearing. A couple got married, and they left wrestling altogether. I guess because I've never seen them back since they got married.
Oh, Delirious is backstage. Yeah. Like I think he's still working for Impact.
Delirious
and what was the chick's name?
Mandy Leon.
Yeah, Mandy Leon. And I haven't seen the wrestle since they got married. So this they just disappear from wrestling altogether. So the calling had promise, and now it's done. To me, the show itself, it was good enough. It wasn't the best thing ever, but it was good enough.
I knew what we were going to get out of Akira, right? I'm like, I know what we're going to get out of Akira. I expect him to do what he does. I knew what we're going to get out of Chris. I didn't expect it to be that fast, right? I didn't expect him to get fucked up that fast. Fucking Jimmy Lloyd to me might be the motherfucking MVP, right? Like, Jimmy Lloyd was on some next shit. And I've been sitting here like, I don't fuck with this guy. I'm not a fan. He's whatever. This shit was his element. He fucking went all out. The fucking fat guy, I think his name was Cannonball or whatever, when he serial crushed, I think it was Akira, right? Yeah. Like, this shit. And the difference between these guys doing hardcore shit, then I watched on Mania where the fucking fucked up table spot and they didn't know how to adjust. When that table did not sit on the two chairs, motherfucking RSP threw that shit out the way like, fuck it, I'm going to go through both of these anyway. Right? Like, it was so dope how they transitioned. I thought the three guys on one team completely... Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and towards the end, Akira took the mic. He said what he's going to say. And it looks like they're going to transition into him now being like the face of MLW, maybe being the next baby face that they don't have, because they don't have a baby face there. That's the main baby face. So he looks like he might be that guy now moving forward as being the baby face of the company now being Akira. So, and I'm fine with that. As long as he gets away from all that crazy shit and just wrestles like he can wrestle.
Him and Alex Kane feel like when we knew back in the days, we used to say it's Fatu and Hammerstone or MLW, right? It feels like right now it's now Alex Kane and Akira, right? Like, I don't care what people say about Akira. This guy shot up in the last few months, right? Like, he was stuck in that calling bullshit. He was like in no man's land. And now when you see what just happened, you're like, okay, Akira is going to be a main player in this shit because you can't push him backwards, right? That seemed everywhere he's gone in Bloodsport, he won the crowd over. That last show, it was an Akira crowd. Like, they went nuts for Akira. And he fucking took a massive beating, looked great. All his spots were fucking clean. I mean, salute to RSP. RSP had a decent match. Cannonball serial crushed this guy. I thought that was funny as hell. The Cornwallis guy
lost his mask at one point.
Yeah, he lost his mask trying to fucking tickle Raven. And then who was the other guy? Oh, and Sami Callihan. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't watch Impact for a few years now. Sami Callihan came out and he looked really, and I'm not fat shaming nobody, but this guy looked like he ate Sami Callihan, right? Like, I was like, yo, Sami Callihan is really out of shape. And that's crazy to me because I remember when he came in with OBE, in Impact Wrestling, I mean, it wasn't like he's some muscle-bound diesel dude, but he wasn't like out of shape like that. That surprised me. And all that spitting is fucking, I swear to God, if I was a ring crew and I had to clean after this guy, I'm slapping the shit out of him. Like, that spitting for every 2 seconds, I don't get it. Shit is disgusting.
You're gonna come in the ring. You're gonna come in the ring and you're gonna help us clean this shit too. Because I ain't messing with you no more, man.
I mean, the dude spit in the air for his own spit.
I'm glad the calling thing is done with. Hopefully, Jake stays there, do something different. What's the other kid's name? Lloyd stays there for a while and does some things. But get rid of the rest of the guys of the calling. Just keep Cannonball, keep him. Get rid of everybody else. Stop with this ECW nonsense. Get rid of Raven. Get rid of all these old people, man. Just get rid of them. Enough. I'm so sick of it already, man. I'm tired when you got to see this over 50-year-old guys and we have to glamorize something. Like, oh, they did something. Yeah, 20 years ago. They did something, great, 20 years ago. We don't have to see them now. Enough of this shit.
Yeah, but listen to how the marks are at the shows. Raven, what are you cheering for? You got fucking 5 guys about to go to fucking war, and you got this guy who's just gonna do shit, and you're gonna cheer this old fucking dinosaur on over the 5 guys who are going ham? Like, get out of here.
Well, that's independent wrestling in general. That's why, that's why if you look at all the indie posters, there's the ex-WWE, WCW, ECW guy, and then you have all of your local talents like around it. So obviously that's how you get the casuals in, by bringing in Ken Anderson and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat or whatever, even if they don't come in to do, even if they don't actually do anything.
But they don't wrestle. Like,
sometimes they do. Steamboat doesn't wrestle, but he usually comes in.
No, now you bring him in. I want to meet him. I want to take a picture and get an autograph.
A real legend. That's a real legend.
I'm fine with that. Don't wrestle. I'm fine with that. Don't get involved. Do not get in anything. Just let me buy you. Let me buy an 8x10. Let me get a picture. Dude, you just made my dream come true when I used to see you wrestle Ric Flair in those 10 match classics that you had. That's a dream come true right there. I don't want to see the man get in the ring and do something, then try to get killed out there because he can't move.
Looking at you, Shane Douglas.
Yo, Raven look like Joe Biden. Just saying. It looked rough, but I mean. We talked the vacant. We talked Constitution taking people out. We talked the War Chamber. We got Muffins that's anti-Rob K and Chef now for speaking honest about the one time we spoke about a bad woman match. Now we're anti-women match. One time.
I got one thing to say about this. That if the Renta's mom gets there, they have to have a muffin on a pole match. And I'm wrestling her to get into her muffin.
Whoa!
We're gonna have we're having a muffin on a pole match, me and her.
I think you're meaning muffins is the pole match.
Whatever.
Listen, what I was gonna say is, what if this turns out that El Jefe Shorty is Mama De La Renta?
Dude, don't even say that.
I mean, I figured that's where they're going. I mean, though the best outcome for this is Cesar is secretly Salina's dad.
Oh my God!
That better be the outcome of this. That is what I want to see out of this.
Wow!
I didn't see that.
Salina is Cesar's love child.
Dude, Vince Russo just came back to MLW. Holy shit!
What I was trying to say is maybe they were like hooking up, and
Rob K just took a page out of Vince Russo's.
Oh, they hooked up 25 years ago.
yeah, 46 years ago, and that would be crazy if that happened, man. Oh wow!
Listen, if that happens,
Court, hire me. I applaud.
Throw it everywhere. Throw it everywhere. All right. So I think we touched everything on MLW's War Chamber, right?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So, Rob, I appreciate you for being the only other person on here who kept it real about the women's match. For myself, Muffins, Rob K of everything, we're out of here. Deuces.
Deuces.